The annual meeting has begun. Roger Salter, you have the floor.
Thank you for attending this year's annual meeting. A quorum is present and the meeting is hereby called to order. With me tonight, joining us virtually, are Nancy Haynes, First Vice Chair.
Here.
Thank you. Ken Herrera, Second Vice Chair.
Good evening, everyone. Ken's here.
Thank you. Pamelya Herndon, Secretary.
Here.
Reese Gateley, Treasurer.
Here.
Thank you. Sean Torres, Director.
Good evening, I'm here.
Thank you. Kevin McMahon, Director.
Here, Roger.
Thank you. John Vale, Director Emeritus.
I'm here.
Thank you, John. Daniel Gillespie, Board Advisor. Margaret Kraft, Supervisory Committee Chair.
Here.
Thank you. Marcia Majors, President and CEO.
Roger Marsh is here. We were having some technical difficulties.
I see her there. Thank you. And Barbara Stevenson, our parliamentarian this evening.
Roger will make sure we can get her on quickly.
Thank you. The agenda for our meeting tonight is a standard format for credit union annual meetings as set forth in the regulations and our bylaws and is displayed on the screen. The next item of business is the reading of the minutes of last year's annual meeting held May 1st, 2019. The minutes of that annual meeting were approved by the Board of Directors at its regular meeting on May 28th, 2019, and therefore do not have to be approved at this meeting. Is there a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes?
Mr. Chair, we have a motion.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chair, we have a second.
Thank you. There has been a motion and a second to dispense with the reading of the minutes. Please indicate whether you are in favor or not of the motion by voting either yes or no on the poll presented on your screen.
Members, we're going to give this poll about 15 seconds, so please vote quickly. Mr. Chair, the motion passes.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the message from the chair.
Hello, everyone. I'd like to thank all of you for being here today in our first effort at communicating with you online while we all continue the fight against COVID-19. I wish all our members could come and celebrate our accomplishments personally with us, but hopefully that will be in the not too distant future. U.S. Eagle Board and Management responded immediately to our leaders' recommendations to limit person-to-person contact while still providing our best service to our members. Closing our branches was very difficult, but with concierge service for special needs, we continue to serve. We encourage our members to use any of our 24/7 banking services, such as online banking, bill pay, and remote deposit capture for check deposits. If you need cash or any other ATM service, there are also more than 220 See You Anytime ATMs throughout New Mexico for your convenience. U.S. Eagle will continue to provide excellent service with as little interruption or convenience for you as possible. Thank you for working with us to ensure we deliver on this promise for keeping you safe. We made great milestones in 2019. Your U.S. Eagle Credit Union continued to perform above budget with asset size at $1,069,568,000. Compared to 2018, assets have increased 3.15%, and the capital ratio is 11.54%. We finished 2019 with net income 35% ahead of plan. We have strategic growth goals of balancing loan portfolios, and they're all meeting plan with 24% in business lending, 19% in real estate, 22% in consumer lending, and 34% in indirect lending. While credit unions cannot invest in the stock market, we can participate when the funds are used for charitable donations and employee benefits. We invested $9,926,723 in 2019 and gained $537,043. Some of the organizations we have donated to are United Way, Casa Esperanza, Rio Grande Food Bank, and the National Dance Institute that supports hundreds of New Mexico children. Our junior board of directors works on amazing projects in supporting our community. We continue to make every effort to give back to you, our members. For those of you that have deposit savings with us, we will continue to give you the best rate. And for those requiring loans, we try to give you the lowest rate. It is U.S. Eagle's board's dedication to you, our members, that is most important to me, and I sincerely thank you for being a member owner of your U.S. Eagle. Thank you. And it's my pleasure to introduce to you our President and CEO, Marcia Majors.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us virtually, safe in your homes. Like everyone else, your credit union is dealing with new realities and new ways of providing you with the financial services you need. The changes we made to keep both you and our staff safe during the coronavirus pandemic were at first painful, but we showed our combined adaptability. Together, we have stayed strong.
Our strength comes from helping each other. We've built a website that puts everything COVID-19 in one place, answering questions, protecting your personal and financial health. Visit westaystrong.org. You'll also find information about emergency loans for people and businesses to keep food on the table, doors open, and people working. This isn't about business, it's about people. At U.S. Eagle, people will always mean more. westaystrong.org. Equal housing lender.
The beauty of U.S. Eagle's mission is that our primary responsibility is to create a world where people matter more. Whether we're ensuring that our employees are safe and that you, our members, have access to banking services, or we're helping businesses pay their employees and vendors, we believe in supporting financial health and safety in New Mexico. In 2019, we delivered on our mission by providing emergency lending to furloughed government employees. We also developed business checking products that provide our business members with better features and information, and we improved on our mobile and internet banking. At the same time, we addressed an underserved business segment in our state and partnered with Erie Group to serve legal cannabis businesses that employ thousands of New Mexicans who cannot get the financial services they deserve. We also dedicated resources to our frontline team, where they have now become qualified financial wellness coaches. These efforts have given us a newfound momentum and growth that produced a strong net income of $11.5 million in 2019. How does this impact you, our members? Well, in 2019, our 75,000 plus members saved a total of $21,125,000 by using U.S. Eagle as their financial partner. Your credit union is stronger than ever. This past year, Seeing our name at the top of the Forbes magazine's Best in State Credit Union and #1 in service just proves what our members know and want to share with others. As credit union advocates, I, along with your board of directors, meet regularly with our legislators in Santa Fe and Washington, D.C., and remind them of our story. Having these meaningful discussions with our representatives about the importance of keeping the credit union tax status exempt or working towards a national standard on data privacy and cybersecurity, just to name a few, continues to motivate me to make U.S. Eagle a better credit union. Equally important to us is our continued commitment to supporting the communities in which our members work and live. In 2019, U.S. Eagle supported 56 nonprofit organizations through $264,000 in grants and financial support. And while our support for these organizations are important, I'd like to highlight a few. U.S. Eagle joined with other New Mexico credit unions and the University of New Mexico's Children's Hospital to establish the New Mexico Credit Union Connected Academy. Your credit union donated $85,000 to help support the Connected Academy. The Academy is a nonprofit organization that employs a full-time teacher to help children being treated for chronic illnesses from falling behind in school. We launched both Collective Spark, our Giving Tuesday initiative, and our Enrich Ed classroom grant program, impacting 1,300 New Mexico students. Our staff continues to volunteer at the Rio Grande Food Project, and with our help, their small garden was transformed into a larger, more accessible produce growing project. I am personally very proud of our community engagement. Our investment in technology and people is paying off as we rely more on electronic service delivery. As we move into 2020, we will continue to implement our digital strategy to improve our capabilities by installing a new modernized phone system and streamlining our membership and loan application process. Our management team has put many hours of research into the design, location, and conveniences of new facilities. While this pandemic has had an impact on our timelines, our hope is that once it's behind us, the construction on the new Wantabo branch will begin. The Wantabo branch will be a full-service branch that supports the changing behavior of our members. The design phase to relocate the Thompson, Tennessee branch to Manal is nearing completion, and we are researching a suitable site for a future South Valley branch location. In closing, running the credit union effectively requires that all team members work together for the common good of you, our members. So I would like to extend my thanks to both U.S. Eagle staff and volunteers who make our credit union such a wonderful place to belong. It is our pleasure to serve you, and thank you for your continued loyalty. Back to you, Roger.
Thank you, Nancy. Next on the agenda is the report of the treasurer. The 2019 consolidated statements of income shows a net income of $11.5 million. This performance helps sustain the safety and soundness of your credit union. The consolidated statements of financial condition and the consolidated statements of income are included in the 2019 annual report, which is available as an attachment on the right side of your screen and also online at useagle.org. I would defer to Reese Gateley, our treasurer. Reese, is there anything that you would like to add?
Thanks, Roger. I'd like to add a few comments. I know there's a lot of numbers on the screen. The most important conclusions that we can gather from all of those numbers is the credit union is financially strong, both as rated by the National Credit Union Administration, the federal examiners, who rate us as well capitalized, and also by our external auditors, Moss Adams, who for 2019 gave us an unqualified or clean opinion for our 2019 audit. So the credit union is well capitalized, not only from the external standpoint, but from the efforts of the leadership of the credit union itself and from you, the members. So what have we done with the well-capitalized position that we have? It's important to know that we did finish on a strong note, that we can see. When we went into 2020, the plans for how we were going to use the well-capitalized position of the credit union were different. Come March 20th, the world changed. With the strong financial performance that we had in 19, we did have a very favorable equity position to help our members. Here's a couple examples of what we have done. We so far have provided 240 Eagle Relief loans to members. Through the SBA Payroll Protection Program, we've been able to help over 300 individual members in business. It's important to know that some of those members that we were helped are only our new members now. They came from other financial institutions who were not able to help them. They came to us, and because of our strong equity position, we were able to help them. We fulfilled our mission. It's really important to know that we couldn't have done any of this without a strong financial position. Additionally, because of that position, we've also ways to help members through undoubtedly in a very unprecedented time. Your credit union does remain strong, and please know that all the leadership of your credit union is committed to make the changes necessary to preserve that status while assisting you, our members. Thank you, Roger.
Thank you, Reese. Next on our agenda is the report of the Supervisory Committee. Lori Kraft is the chair of the Supervisory Committee, and her report of the Supervisory Committee is included in the 2019 annual report. At this time, I would like to introduce Pamelya Herndon, chair of the Nominating Committee, to announce the results of the election for board of directors.
Thank you, Roger. This year, there are 2 vacancies on the board. The nominating committee submitted 2 nominees to fill those vacancies. As directed by the bylaws, other candidates may be nominated by petition of the membership. However, the board did not receive any petitions for nomination from the membership. Also, per the bylaws, there will be no nominations from the floor. The 2 nominees submitted by the nominating committee are Nancy Haynes and Kevin McMahon. Since there is only 1 nominee for each vacancy, I will entertain a motion to elect the 2 board candidates by acclamation. Is there a motion?
Can you hear me?
I
Okay,
can hear
fantastic.
you now.
Sorry, we're having technical difficulties. We do have a movement and a second, Ms. Herndon.
Thank you, Annalise. There has been a motion and a second to elect the 2 board candidates. Please indicate whether you are in favor or not of the motion by voting either yes or no on the poll presented on your screen.
Again, we'll have 15 seconds to conclude the results of the poll. And we do have, the motion carries. We got 58% voted. Thank you.
Thank you, Annalise. So please join me in congratulating our new elected directors, Nancy Haynes and Kevin McMahon. The next items on the agenda include the recognition of our junior board of directors and the presentation of the Community Service Award. In 2013, U.S. Eagle Federal Credit Union established a junior board of directors to help prepare our next generation of leaders to learn to serve as members of boards of directors, to understand the importance of credit unions in our communities, and to understand how good decisions make businesses successful. The Junior Board of Directors has 3 objectives. Those are community service, offering ideas about developing products and services, focused on Generation X, Millennials, and Generation Z, and the third objective is financial literacy. This year, our junior board consists of 6 young women and men holding the officer positions as follows. Abby Davison is chair, Amelia Malaris is vice chair, Kristen Thomas is secretary, Matthew Barkley serves as treasurer, Estrella Sandoval as community service committee chair, and Molly Wooster serves as financial literacy committee chair. Leandra Salsette, the former president of the junior board, is serving as this year's board advisor. We applaud each of you for your dedication to community service, but most of all for your commitment to leadership. And thank you. This year has certainly been different. All of us have had to reevaluate our priorities and take special precautions to protect ourselves and others from the COVID-19 pandemic. While we are keeping ourselves and our families safe, one of our local organizations is playing a huge role in fighting the coronavirus. Tricore Reference Laboratories has been on the front lines getting antibody testing validated, continuously exploring multiple avenues to increase COVID-19 testing capacity for all New Mexicans, and running thousands of tests daily to help prevent the spread of the virus. Tricore is a New Mexico-based laboratory and has been one of our select employer groups, also known as a SEG, for many years. We are inspired by their dedication to protecting our communities by presenting them with the U.S. Eagle Federal Credit Union Community Service Award. While this presentation is virtual, our heartfelt appreciation is very real. Thank you, Tricore Reference Laboratories.
Hello, I'm Dr. Nick Dion, Chief Administrative Officer, Tricore Reference Laboratories. We here at Tricore are honored to accept the U.S. Eagle Community Service Award. As many of you know, Tricore was founded right here in New Mexico over 20 years ago in order to provide exceptional laboratory services to improve the health of our community. Today, we employ over 1,400 healthcare professionals in over 70 locations across the state.
Next on the agenda is unfinished business. A review of the minutes of last year's annual meeting shows no unfinished business. Next on the agenda is new business. Other than the results of the election, there being no other new business, we will move on to the next agenda item. Next on the agenda is the presentation of the John R. Thompson Excellence in Service Award, given annually to an outstanding employee or employees of U.S. Eagle.
Every year, the chair of the board of directors is charged with selecting an employee that is recommended by their staff managers as being helpful, kind, and sincere towards all members and coworkers, who is great at their job, who's eager to learn new skills, and who is a caring community citizen, a role model for all employees. This year, there were 5 employees nominated, a testimonial to how great all of our employees are. I'm happy to announce the winners of the John R. Thompson Excellent Service Award. Our first recipient is Ruth Garcia, an e-lender in the e-services department.
Hi, I just wanted to say thank you so much for this award and for my management team who nominated me for this award. I am truly grateful and humbled, and I truly do work for one of the best companies in New Mexico, and I will continue to do my best and work hard to reach my goals with this company. Thank you so much.
Our second recipient is Tina Catanola, a fraud and security lead in the support services department.
I'm absolutely honored and humbled to receive the John Thompson Excellence in Service Award. I've been with the credit union for 22 years. I've had the best mentors guiding me along my journey. I want to say thank you. Thank you to all my teammates and coworkers that I work with on a day-to-day basis. Thank you to all my members who I help on a day-to-day basis. Without you all, none of this would be possible. Again, I would like to thank you all from the bottom of my heart.
Congratulations to Ruth and Tina for this prestigious award, and thank you for your dedication and hard work.
Can you hear me? Fantastic. Sorry, we had some technical difficulties. We're now going to entertain questions from the floor. My name is Annalisa Elrod. I'm the Chief Operating Officer here at U.S. Eagle. I'll be your facilitator during the question and answer segment of the annual meeting. If you have a question for your board or your leadership team, please use the questions feature on your screen to type in your inquiry. We also received a lot of good questions during the registration process and really want to thank everyone who submitted questions. We had a fair amount of duplicate questions, so we'll acknowledge those as we go through the questions. So again, we'll start off with the pre-submitted questions first, and actually start off those with some of the COVID-related questions, since those tended to be the ones on the top of everyone's mind. So our first question is, how is the credit union during the current situation? Which is an excellent question. I think we're going to throw it to Marcia Major.
Thank you, Annalisa, and thank you for the question. Your credit union remains well capitalized, and what that means is that we have a large rainy day reserve that allows us to be sustainable for many, many years in the future. We measure our success by the degree in which we can help and support our members, as well as our employees. That metric, we believe, indicates that we're doing well. Financially, it won't be a record year, but we do forecast a positive net income based on all that we know up to this moment.
Thank you, Marcia. I've got another one for you if you're ready for it. The second question is, will the bank or credit union give loans during this pandemic?
Absolutely. We continue to offer all types of loans, including auto, home, business, and personal loans. We're also offering COVID-related loans, including our Eagle Relief Loan, used for disruptions in income, and our Eagle Success Loan, which is used for emergencies that require lower amounts of funds.
Thanks, Marcia. Our next question, we actually got multiple questions around the impact that coronavirus has had on the bottom line of our credit union. And the second question were worded almost the same way. And for that, I'm going to toss that one over to Mike Moore, who's our CFO.
Thank you, Annalise. Afternoon, everyone. Like Annalise said, my name is Mike Moore. I'm the Chief Financial Officer here. Thank you for the question. We've definitely seen an impact to the bottom line. I would really characterize the impact so far as more moderate than severe, which is a good thing. Most of the impact that we've seen so far has really been due to our response efforts in terms of waiving fees for the 3 months, providing the relief loans at low rates to help the membership, including our business members. And in addition, we have seen some impact related to increasing our loss reserve, but that's really primarily in anticipation of future losses that may materialize in the coming months as we move through the impact of COVID-19. Of course, we hope that impact is as small as possible, but we want to be prepared for whatever that is, so we've definitely taken some action there. And the full impact of the coronavirus on U.S. Eagles yet to be seen. However, I'll reiterate what Marcia said. We do have a very strong balance sheet, and we're very well capitalized, and those two things will definitely help us protect the credit union as we move forward.
Thanks, Mike. I've got another one for you if you're game. The next set of questions, and they were asked a couple times about, are the interest rates going to continue to go down? If you had your crystal ball, what would happen to rates on loans and CD rates as well, considering the current status?
Sure. Yeah, that's a great question, one that we think about and talk about every day. And so I think I'll probably answer that in two ways. First, in terms of overall market rates, it's really difficult to predict the direction of interest rates right now. There's just a ton of volatility in the market. The Fed has dropped short-term interest rates to near zero, and have basically indicated that they'll remain there for at least for the foreseeable future. So there really isn't much room for market rates to go much lower. And overall, if you look at the yield curve and where Treasury rates are right now, the United States is experiencing some of the lowest interest rates in history. It's really unprecedented in a lot of ways, even lower than what we saw during the 2008 recession. So we don't anticipate market interest rates increasing much at all in the near term. Now, in terms of U.S. Eagles loan and deposit rates, we have a bit more control over the direction of those. So when we're setting loan and deposit rates, we always try to be as competitive as possible. We have to maintain that balance between the amount we pay on deposits with the amount we earn on loans, such that we're earning a reasonable enough margin between the two to pay for operating expenses and provide the net return and build up member capital. So right now, the historically low rates and low loan volume are putting pretty significant pressure on that operating margin, and that really affects our deposit rates and rates for every financial institution, really. So U.S. Eagle is definitely not alone in what we're experiencing. So I don't see loan or deposit rates increasing at U.S. Eagle in the short term, say 6 or 9 months, but I also don't see the need to decrease them from their current levels right now. I think we're at a good spot. But longer term rate movement will really just depend on the speed of the recovery and how the Fed responds with monetary policy. But we actively watch rates and always look for opportunities to adjust upward whenever possible.
Thanks, Mike. Our next set of questions had basically the same question, but it's more about higher fees and any sort of changes to accounts. So the official question is COVID-19 going to result in the credit union charging its members higher fees and also not providing better interest rates, which Mike just addressed. As a COO, I'm going to go ahead and tackle this answer and basically tell you that our well-capitalized state is really meant to buffer the credit union and you, our member owners, for situations like this. We have a great financial state to the point where we gave all of our members a waiver on most fees for 3 months, and actually we even went back and credited folks if they had incurred fees earlier in March, and that will continue until the end of May. We also are inviting our members to defer their loan payments for up to 3 months. You just have to call us and let us know, and we'll work with you on that. We don't really anticipate adjusting fees, rates, or accounts due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but we do always review fees and rates in terms of competitiveness and what else is going on with the market. So we may make adjustments in the future, but do not anticipate making any changes due to COVID-19. The next question is, how long do you estimate we will have to make appointments to the credit union? Also, when will the branch lobbies reopen? And we've had a lot of interest around this. Our current service model is predicated by the governor's stay-at-home mandate, which is still in place until the 15th. We are also placing and continue to place a high priority on the safety of both you, our member owners, and our employees. So with both these aspects in mind, we are developing a recovery plan right now to reopen branches to allow limited surfaces and lobbies sometime in June. Hopefully sooner rather than later, but we don't have that date finalized yet. That plan, as always, is subject to the rate of COVID contraction in the communities we serve. We do serve, in addition to Albuquerque, Bernalillo, Santa Fe, we also serve Farmington, which the northwest section of the state has been hit incredibly hard. So those dates may vary based on the COVID rates in the communities we serve. Okay, I've got another question for you on when will ground be broken on the Wantabo branch? Why has it been delayed, and when will Wantabo be opened? Marcia, I know you answered some of those questions in your address, but if you'd like to add any other commentary, I'll throw it over to you.
Certainly. We're anticipating to break ground on the Wantabo branch sometime within the next 30 to 45 days. And our opening date, however, is dependent on what happens in the state due to COVID-19. We have experienced some delays as a result of the city of Albuquerque postponing zoning hearings and so forth due to the COVID-19. And we've also used those delays to ensure that we have the right space and functionality to serve you, our members, safely during this COVID-19.
Thanks, Marcia. Our next question is about how, it's a comment actually rather than a question. Please do not require members to pay for or subscribe to MemPerks or you will lose members. MemPerks is our completely free program, so there's no need to pay for or subscribe. It basically evaluates every single one of our member owners' relationships at the credit union and provides you up to 50 basis points in increase in deposit rates or reduction in loan rates based on your relationship with us. So for more information, give us a holler. We're glad to explain it. No purchase or subscription required. So that's just a reward as a result of your member ownership. So our next question is, can the federal government increase taxes or fees on bank accounts in an attempt to pay down its debt? That's a fun one. I'm going to give it to you, Marcia. Hopefully you can answer it.
Yeah, that is a fun one. You never say never when it comes to the government, however. That said, we are a not-for-profit organization, so we do pay taxes based on the credit unions. We do not pay taxes based on the credit union's net income. However, we do pay taxes based on payroll, some of the goods and services that we use, and in a number of other ways. So we may be subject to higher taxes in the future, but part of our lobbying with our legislators keeps that top of mind to ensure that that is something that is put off for a long time in the future.
Fantastic. Thanks, Marcia. Our next question is, did changing our name from U.S. New Mexico Federal Credit Union to U.S. Eagle bring in sufficient business to justify the cost? And I'm going to answer that as Chief Operating Officer. Since we changed our name in 2015, we've grown almost 200 million in assets with significant lifts to checking accounts open, relationships to member, and overall brand recognition. So yes, looking at all aspects of that name change, we believe the benefits more than outweigh the expense at the time. Our next question, which I'm going to throw to Mike Moore, again, our CFO, is what is the projected, validated with actual current income or growth for the bank? So basically, what's our projected growth?
Sure. Great question. Thanks. So we've run a number of projections since this all started, trying to incorporate developments as they occur as quickly as possible. So we have kind of a vision of what the year will look like. There's still quite a bit of activity and uncertainty happening on a daily basis. However, right now, we're expecting to see asset growth in 2020 of about 8 to 10% this year. Marcia mentioned earlier that in 2019 we saw about 3% asset growth, so it's going to be a lot more this year, and that's primarily due to the significant deposit growth that we've experienced as a result of COVID-19. Typically during these times we see a fair amount of deposit growth. So We're not anticipating significant loan growth this year, maybe 1 or 2%. In terms of income, we're still projecting positive net income for 2020. We had positive earnings in Q1 of this year, and we expect to see a few months this year with negative earnings, but overall earnings are still forecast to be positive at year end. And so what does positive mean? You might be asking. Well, we anticipate our return on assets to be in the mid-teens for 2020, so say around 15 basis points of return on assets. But even with those reduced earnings, capital will remain strong this year and well above the minimum capital requirements for a well-capitalized credit union. And just to conclude, I would just say, please keep in mind that this forecast is based on current estimates today of growth and loan losses based on what we know now. So things can change in either direction, really, in the coming months. But rest assured, we're actively managing the balance sheet and the income statement to maintain the safety and soundness of U.S. Eagle.
Thanks, Mike. We have another question, or actually statement, about the fact that Samsung Pay, Apple Pay, or Google Pay should be available for U.S. Eagle debit and credit cards. And for a response to that statement, I'm going to throw this question to Steve Schreiner, who's our VP of Digital Strategy and Operations.
Thank you, Annalisa. We agree, and we're actually rolling out all 3 of those products in the 3rd quarter of this year, hopefully the early 3rd quarter. And actually, we had originally planned on the products being offered earlier, but as you know, things have changed a little bit, and it delayed a month or so in us implementing. So we do expect to have those soon.
Thanks, Steve. I have one more pre-submitted question, and then we'll go to one question that's been submitted from the floor. This last question is, what percentage of revenue went to benefit members? And that's a great broad question, which I will toss to Marcia Majors, our CEO.
Thank you, Annalisa. We benefit our members in a variety of ways. It shows up through our lower fees, our better rates, through programs like MemPerks, and also through the improvement of our products and services, as well as branch locations to provide better service to all of you, our members. We also place income in reserve to provide benefits to members in times like these, COVID-19. While it's virtually impossible to calculate all of the benefits, we had a third-party company that we worked with to calculate the benefits we gave our members in 2019 in the form of better rates and lower fees. That total was over $21 million, larger than the amount we recorded in the net income last year. So we are continuously looking for ways in which we can return value to our membership.
Thank you, Marcia. That concludes the pre-registration questions. I've gotten 2 questions up from the floor. So for those of you also listening in, this is your time to enter questions if you want them answered during the meeting. First question, which I've assigned, which I will toss over to Steve Jeffries, who's our Chief Lending Officer, is, does the credit union offer loans for purchase of a unit in a condominium development? And if not, why not?
Thank you, Annalisa. Like all the rest of them, that's a good question. The answer is yes, but on a very limited basis. And that kind of goes to the point, if not, why not? And it generally has to do with the condominium association itself. We're not just qualifying the borrower and their ability to make the payment, but we also have to have sufficient documentation and history on the association to show that the association functions very well, that they have enough money in reserves, that they can handle the outside maintenance, that they can handle the overall insurance, that kind of thing. And unfortunately, that is a pretty high hurdle sometimes. But if we can do that, then yes, we have a few loans on condominiums. I would say whoever asked that question, if you have specific in mind, please feel free to contact us. I think we may be able to contact you from the question, and we'll see if we can help you. Thanks.
Steve, you're correct. We actually can follow up with the members. So we'll forward that information to the mortgage department following this meeting. So our final question that we've received so far is, how does the junior board of directors fit into the future of U.S. Eagle? Which is a great question. I certainly have my ideas on how to answer it, but I'm also going to give Maggie Tannen, who's our executive sponsor of and coordinator with that junior board of directors the opportunity to ask that. Maggie is our VP of HR and Learning and Development. Maggie?
All right, thank you, Annalisa. Our junior board does fit into our future of the US Eagle in lots of different ways. They are charged with 3 objectives through the year, one of which is products and services and development for their age market. So they are a great resource for us as we develop and design our products and services for our newest members as they're coming on. We also like to use that, it's kind of a nice little think tank of product services, staffing, community involvement, and financial literacy, which is a big mission for US Eagle and for all credit unions. And the junior board helps us achieve all of those things.
Thanks, Maggie. At this time, we have no further questions from the floor. So Roger, if you are still around, I will toss this meeting back to you.
Thank you, Annalise, and everyone who worked on those questions. I'd also like to acknowledge our marketing and IT teams who worked so hard to pull all of this together. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now completed our business agenda. Is there any further business to come before this meeting?
I have no further responses.
Thank you. There being no further business, I declare the business portion of the meeting adjourned.
But wait, in appreciation for your membership and for your participation in our first virtual annual meeting, we will announce the winners of gift cards to local businesses and Visa giveaways. I'm Olga. I'm the social media marketing events manager for US Eagle.
And I'm Phil Forbert, marketing director. This year, we increased the number and the value of the gift cards as a thank you to our members for participating in our first virtual annual meeting. We also purchased the gift cards from local businesses as a way to support them now, perhaps give them a boost in publicity, and provide the card winners with a way to also support local businesses. Whether you choose to use the card for takeout or delivery now, or wait until dining in restaurants is once again allowed, soon I hope, we're all helping to pay it forward for our local economy.
We'll be mailing your gift card to the address we have on file in the next few days. So with that being said, our first winner is, this is exciting, Sally and Joseph Spear. They just won a $25 Pinion Coffee House gift card.
Our next winner is Stacy Harker, a $50 gift certificate to Nick and Jimmy's.
Our third winner is a $50 gift card to Monroe's.
And it goes to Sandra Cisneros. We have a $50 gift card to Dion's, and that one goes to Kevin Goodluck.
Next on the docket is yet another $50 Monroe's gift card, and this one goes to Christian Thomas.
Now we do have to throw some of our own Visa branded cards. So a $50 Visa card goes to Raymond Hurchin.
Next up, we also have yet another $50 Pinion Coffee House gift card, and that goes to Teresa Hope.
The next gift card is one of my favorite barbecue places, Mr. Powdrill's. A $50 gift card goes to Vicky Sanchez.
Next up, Gerald Kuyik. You also get to enjoy a $50 gift card to Mr. Powdrill's.
And also another one of my favorites, a $50 gift card to Nexus Brewery goes to Deborah Deller.
A $50 gift card to Tomasitas, one of my personal favorites, Phil. And that goes to David Vigil.
Well, good. Then we'll go back to another of my favorite, another $50 gift card to Nexus Brewery to Connie Dayton.
Next up, we have a $50 gift card to Bandito Hideout. Congratulations, Kathy Martinez.
And another $50 gift card to Bandito Hideout goes to Terry Craig.
Now we're moving to a $75 Matucci's gift card, yet another one of my personal favorites. And that one goes to Ruby and Encinius.
We have a lot of favorites. Another $75 gift card, this one to Tomasitas, goes to Teresa Candelaria.
And back again to Matucci's, another $75 gift card. Congratulations, Marcia Craig.
And I just like the dollar amount on this one. $100 to Nick and Jimmy's goes to Lee Werner.
Now this one you can choose where you want to go yourself. This one is a $100 Visa gift card, and this one goes to Carmen Snipes. Congratulations.
We have a $100 El Pinto gift card going to Brandon Haynes.
And Mark, and I apologize, I'm probably going to butcher this, so forgive me, Savidra, $100 Scarpa's gift card.
The next gift card is $100, and it goes to the Jinja Bar and Bistro, and it goes to Robert Grego, sorry.
Next up, we have a $100 Keller's gift card, and that goes to Lynn Eby.
Another $100 gift card to Keller's goes to Christopher Abieta.
Okay, we're down to the final two. This one, I also like the dollar amount on this one, and it's a $150 Visa gift card, and that goes to Alice Garcia.
And the final gift of $250, a Visa gift card, goes to William Metcalf. Thank you all for attending U.S. Eagle Federal Credit Union's annual meeting, virtual as it was. Good night and stay safe.